open, you can possibly try shifting here between these tabs. You have different worksheets in the same book. See, here's items shipped. See, for every column in the main data set, for every column, you basically have to create a separate tab, a separate worksheet in order to create sort of a complex dashboard based on the pivot tables. So for each column, you need a separate pivot table. See, here's items shipped. Now, this looks kind of vague. If you click on dashboard, all right, click on dashboard and click on this little icon up here, all right, on the top right of what is called the slicer. I'll get to that later. Now, you just click on this. Yeah, just click on that and click on this one too. Just click on those. That resets everything. See, now everything is reset. And if you go back, you'll see that, you have the entire, see, you have here the item shipped column here. You have the unit price column here. And you have the revenue here and the popularity here, right? So that's sort of a separate pivot table for each column in your in your data set. See here, all of these are basically broken down into separate pivot tables. Now, if you want to see the actual pivot table menu, you click here on Pivot Table Tools on the top right of the window. You see that Pivot Table Tools? Click on that, and click on Field List. See, and here you can see that basically you can pick and choose what you want to have featured. See, you can even add unit price. You can add that. So you can add all of those, but you really only need popularity. Yeah, here you only need popularity. But technically, you can make the pivot table more complex for each column. You can add additional columns, but you don't necessarily want to do that. But the description is essential. See, because then if you don't have the description, you don't really know what you're talking about. The description is important, and then at least one variable, one column. So that's basically the pivot table. And if you want, like I said, you can add revenue here. See, and then if you add the revenue over there, well, you don't want to do this. See, that's kind of confusing. See, now you have the revenue entered beneath the description, and that's actually not kind of counterproductive. So when you move the revenue over to values, see, that's better. See, values is usually for the numbers. All your number stuff is under values, and then rows is basically this way, vertical, and then columns is horizontal. So you can put this, technically you can put this under columns. It's not so good necessarily. But see, that's basically what the pivot table does, and then technically you match. So in order to do that, you basically go back to your data set. All right, are you back with your data set? Okay, good. So now you want to highlight this entire data set. Okay, the entire thing, just highlight it. Right. And also be careful to have this part highlighted, all right? The top part, the descriptors, number of items shipped, unit price, revenue, popularity. Yeah, you want to have all of that highlighted. Yeah, just highlight everything. And then click copy, okay? And I want to click new. Yeah, and then blank workbook, and click blank workbook. Yeah. Okay, and now just hit paste. Like, don't click this right now, just hit paste. See, and there it is. And maybe you want to highlight it. Yeah, do it with the plus sign. I'm going to highlight everything. Click on copy. And you see this little plus sign here next to sheet 1. Hit on that. and then you have a second sheet. Now, if you right-click the sheet 2, you can already you can give it a label. So let's give it number of items shipped. So this is number. So when you right-click and click on rename and delete and number of items shipped. See, it's just devoted to that particular column. This tab, this worksheet is just devoted to that particular column. All right. Okay, so now go back to sheet number 1. All right, and now we're actually going to insert the pivot table. So this is already highlighted, so keep it highlighted. Now click on Insert, all right? The tab next to it, click on Insert, and click on Pivot Table, all right? See, this is already entered into here, the range, so leave that. And now you want to do Existing Worksheet, and now, yeah, I know, not yet. So we're doing that right now. So click on number of items shipped. Okay, click on that. And now define a range here, like this. Just define a range like that. Okay. Are you with me still? Yeah. And click on OK. See, now we have everything copied into here, and we basically have the pivot table ready for you. Now, if you click on this, you want to click on Pivot Table Tools. Yeah, okay. Tools, yeah, that's here, Pivot Table Tools. Now, we want the description, obviously, so that we have a reference, what the numbers. All right. Now, you just want to do number of items shipped, the one beneath it, all right? Just click on number of items shipped, all right? Yeah. See, now you basically have a pivot table that's just devoted to this particular column, number of items shipped. Now, in order to make this illustrative, you also want to insert a chart. So click on Pivot Chart. Yeah, it's right in there, Pivot Table Tools. Yeah, it's there, Pivot Chart. Yeah, and then you can choose for number of items shipped. Either, yeah, the columns are pretty good. I mean, I like the columns. I mean, the bars would work. That one's not available. Yeah, so why don't we just do columns for this one? That's fine. And click OK. See, now you have everything visually presented here. Okay. So now let's get to the next part. Let's click on plus again, all right? And this is going to be the sheet devoted to your dashboard. So right-click again and do rename. And dashboard. Yeah. Okay, now basically you want to go back to number of items shipped and just select this entire thing and click copy. And then go to back to your dashboard and click paste. See, now it's pasted. Now it's pasted in here. Click on Power Chart Tools, Insert Slicer, Popularity. And let's put that over here. See, and what the slicer does, what you want to do now, you want to right-click on the slicer, okay, here in the bottom field, right-click, and click on Report Connections, okay? Click on Report Connections. And now, yeah, click on a slicer, any slicer. Let's go unit price first. Let's start with unit price. Click on this bottom portion here, the bottom white portion of the slicer. Right-click on it and click on Report Connections. And then you want to select all of these because you want to connect this slicer with all the other ones. Do you have that now, or you still need some time? Report connections. Report connections. Yeah, and then you want to, yeah, all of those. Yeah, all of them. Yeah. And the same thing with these other slicers. Just right click, report connections. See, so that the slicers, that they're all interconnected. That's sort of what makes it really interesting. Yeah. And do that with all 4 of them. If you click on popularity, just 11, see, it's going to influence everything. See, now you basically just clicked. Now you're basically just showing those media formats that are in a very low popularity range, that have a popularity index of just 11%. And see, in that range, you only have puzzles, basically. Puzzles are basically the least popular. This is what basically shows. And you want to increase your popularity. And it also shows that, and also sum of unit price, that puzzle is, well, it's actually not that bad. And sum of unit price, it's still, yeah, it's still, so it's at 20. See, it's at 20. So, yeah. And it has shipped a total of 80 units. That's possibly not even that bad, but it's not very, so it shipped quite a lot actually, but it's not popular. So that's already interesting. See, there you already have a discrepancy of, for some reason, it shipped out a lot, but it's not popular. So a lot of people apparently got an initial impression, a good impression of the puzzle, then they bought it, and then when they got it, they disliked it. So that's kind of intriguing. And if you want to go a little farther, see, you can click 17, 22%. So you don't have any, yeah, see, you already have changes there. See, in the 22, from 11% to 22%, you have a range from magazine to video games. You see that magazines are the most popular. However, magazines, although they're the most popular, they actually didn't even ship out that much. Not that many people bought them. But the few people who did buy them, they liked it actually. So basically the most intriguing aspect here, the most conspicuous, glaring aspect is that puzzles shipped out, a whole lot, but the popularity is low, so there must be something wrong with that, right? So you can use this, yeah. Yeah, right. The popularity is pretty low. I mean, the popularity is like below 15% for the puzzle, but it shipped out a whole lot. So that's sort of an interesting discrepancy. That's maybe something you want to point out to your marketing team. Something they want to look into, that there must be something wrong with the puzzle product. That apparently there's a discrepancy between what is promised, what is advertised, and what you actually get, because they're just dissatisfied with it, although a lot of people bought it. And so the video game didn't ship out that much. I mean, it's popular, but for some reason it didn't ship out that much. So maybe here's maybe the other way around, that the product is good, the actual product, the actual design is good, but the advertisement is bad. So here's the other way around with the video game. So that's something you can also bring to your marketing attention. And then with the revenue, see, the puzzle actually brought in a whole lot of money. See, the puzzle is a ripoff. See, the puzzle generated $1,800. It generates 75%, but it's a complete ripoff because people don't like it. Yeah, there's something wrong with the puzzle, definitely. And so you can take this further. Now we have we have the DVD. The DVD is extremely popular actually, and it sells really well too. It generated some revenue. Yeah, it generated revenue too. So I guess the DVD is a pretty good product.